All right, so forming and licensing your business in the state of Missouri and what is going to be the right entity for your business. So this training is brought to you by the Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation through the Small Business Resource Center program, and we are funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration. Why isn't that changing? Come on. There we go. So who we are. The Small Business Resource Center is a nonprofit organization brought to you by the Jefferson Franklin Community Action Corporation. We are funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration through the Community Navigator Pilot Program. We provide no-cost consulting to entrepreneurs and small businesses in Jefferson, Franklin, Washington, St. Francis, and Ste Genevieve Counties in Missouri. We also connect these clients with resources or spokes to assist them free of charge with other services such as accounting, legal, marketing, and funding through loan application assistance. So if you ever hear us talk about, again, there's that word spoke. Our model is like a hub and spoke model, like a wheel. So in the center is the SBRC. We are the hub, and then our spokes go out to our different resource partners. And again, we refer to them as spokes. Oh, let me admit this person. Give me just a moment here. I apologize. Hi, Diane. Welcome. So we are just going over the hub and spoke model that is the SBRC. So again, the SBRC is the hub. We are the center of the wheel. And then reaching out, we have our different spokes, which consists of marketing, legal, accounting, and funding. That funding, of course, comes from financial organizations and grants. We do not give grants. We do not give loans, but we can assist you in applying for both. As a disclaimer, the purpose of this presentation is to provide general information only. It is not intended to be a comprehensive summary of any ordinances, regulations, and/or laws. The information presented does not constitute legal advice. One should always contact their attorney, CPA, or any other professional or authoritative agency with any questions or concerns. All right. So the registration process in order to be able to receive services from us. One, you'll visit our website at jfcac.org/SBRC. You'll enter your information about yourself and your business, and please understand that we do not ask for personal data. Since we do not give funding or anything like that, we don't check credit scores, we do nothing of the sort, we don't ask for personal data. We don't ask for your social security number. We don't ask for your date of birth. We don't ask for any of that personal data. We just want to know about you and your business and where your business is, just to make sure that you are based here in Missouri. Once you registered with us, a business coach, such as Brittany, will reach out to you to introduce herself and do the initial consult with you to evaluate what your needs are. After that, your business coach will advise you what spokes they're referring you to. They will also provide your information to the spoke so that the spoke can reach out to you and schedule your assistance. All right, so as a few of the topics that we'll be going over today, we're going to talk about deciding on your business, what type of legal entities there are for your business, registering your business. We'll talk a little bit about your tax IDs, also the unemployment insurance taxes, and your local requirements. Now, again, another little disclaimer. This is a general how-to and may not apply to all business types or entities. Always check with an attorney, CPA, or the necessary government agencies for the specific requirements for your business type. I had to add that in there because I believe it was last time we did this webinar, we actually had someone on here from like Oregon or Washington. So, that state is obviously going to have a little bit different requirements from Missouri. So we just wanted to add that in there just so everyone is aware. All right, so deciding on your business. The biggest one is choosing a business idea. You guys, may or may not be surprised to know how many people come to us and say, I know I want to start a business and I want to work for myself, but I don't know what my business is. We can't tell you what type of business to open. We can't tell you to make, 1, 2, 3 widgets or XYZ widget or sell this or sell that. So that is the biggest thing. You've got to decide what your business is going to be. In order to do that, take a look at the community that you're in or what audience you want to serve and see if there is an opening and there's a demand for something that isn't there right now, whether it's a certain type of restaurant, a furniture store, anything. So if you want to go in business, but you're not quite sure what your business is, take a look at your community and your audience, see where there's a hole, see where there's a demand, and see if you're able to fill that. Second, you want to choose a business name. In order to choose a business name, you want to make sure that you are not choosing a business name that already exists. So you'll want to check the Missouri Secretary of State website to ensure there's not already a business registered under that name. Brittany is sharing that link for you in the chat. And then you need to decide what type of legal entity your business is going to be, whether you're an LLC, which is a limited liability company, a corporation, a sole proprietorship, or a partnership. So let's talk about some of these legal entities for your business in Missouri. So you've got a professional corporation, and that is for people who are licensed to practice certain professions. So this is where your accountants, attorneys, physicians, real estate people come in. They have licenses to, excuse me, to carry out these services. Your sole proprietorship or a general partnership. These can be formed without the involvement of the Secretary of State. However, Missouri law does require a fictitious name registration, which is also known as a DBA, if the business is being conducted under a name other than the individual's name. So with this, if I were to open a business under my name, so Kelly is doing business, but I'm doing business as Toaster Industries, I have to file that fictitious name registration because if I'm putting Toaster Industries on all of my invoices, my receipts, my checkbook, things like that, you've got to get that DBA registered. It is a requirement in the state of Missouri. So your limited liability company, this is when you can designate one or more managers to operate this business, your business, or it may choose to operate under the direction of its members. Most of the people that we have assisted, they are their only owners or it's, partners or relatives. So they typically choose the manager route. Not many that we have helped have chosen to be managed by its members. Limited partnerships, you must have at least one general partner and at least one limited partner. Until registered, both types of partners are equally responsible for any debts or obligations. And then you've got a limited liability limited partnership, which gives all partners limited liability and the freedom to manage the business as if they were a general partner. All partners in an LLP can be involved in the active management of the business, unlike the setup in a limited partnership formation. All right, so let's talk about what is an LLC versus an SCorp versus a CCorp versus a sole proprietorship. We want to talk about what is good about them and what are some drawbacks to them. And this is appearing really small on my screen, so give me just a moment here. All right, so for an LLC, this is better for max flexibility in how you manage and run your business. A board of directors is not required, and you can have unlimited owners or members, and that is allowed. So as far as protections and taxation goes, legal protections and taxations go, you are not personally on the hook for business liabilities. You are not personally liable. And this type of business entity is taxed once or twice, and you're free to choose which can help to minimize your taxes. Now, some of the drawbacks to an LLC, this does require ongoing filing and fees to stay in compliance. Your LLC cannot go public You cannot sell shares, things like that. And it is not recognized globally. So you may be taxed as a corporation in other countries, excuse me, if you try to do business in other countries. So for an SCorp, this is better for smaller corporations. You can have 100 shareholders as a maximum, and your owners can only get common stock. For legal protections and taxations, you're still, like an LLC, not personally on the hook for business liabilities, but you are only taxed once, and only shareholders pay on the profits received. Some of the drawbacks are, again, like an LLC, you have ongoing filings and fees to stay in compliance. You do have less management flexibility because you must have a board of directors, and you have more administration. You have strict rules about holding meetings and keeping records of those meetings. And all shareholders must be U.S. citizens or U.S. residents. For a C Corp, this is best if you plan to go public one day. You can issue shares to founders, employees, and investors. And you have unlimited owners, unlike an S Corp who limits you to 100. So you can have unlimited shareholders for that one. In a C Corp, owners may get preferred stock in excuse me, my throat's dry today. Owners can get preferred stock instead of common stock like an S Corp. These are recognized, a C Corp is recognized internationally, and these types of entities are preferred by investors. Some legal protections and taxations. Again, you are not personally on the hook for business liabilities. You are, though, taxed twice, and businesses pays at the corporate level, and shareholders pay on the income received. So that is a little bit different. So some of the drawbacks, again, you have those ongoing filings and fees to stay in compliance. You have less management flexibility because, again, you have to have a board of directors, just like an S Corp. And again, you have more admin. You've got strict rules about holding those meetings and keeping records. But for this one, your shareholders are not required to be U.S. citizens or U.S. residents. And last but not least, a sole proprietorship. So this is better if you need an easy setup, which setting up an LLC is pretty easy in itself as well. But there's no paperwork to start. You may still need a DBA or a business license to operate legally. So again, here in Missouri, you have to have a DBA. It is required. That's that fictitious name registration. And there can only be one owner. That is it. So as far as legal protections and taxations, this is where a sole proprietorship does have that drawback. You yourself are personally on the hook for business liabilities. So if anything were to happen and you're a sole proprietor, if anything were to happen and someone, say you're providing a service, you're detailing cars, that's your business, and something happens and you rip the interior of someone's vehicle, or something gets stained or dyed, or many things can happen. So if that owner wants to sue the business, they're technically suing you. So that means any of your personal assets are in danger there. They can be used to pay off this liability or the suit or what happens there. So that's something to think about for that sole proprietorship. You are taxed once, and you pay on your profits in your personal tax return, and there's less hassle. This separates a separate tax return is not needed. And then that drawback, again, no personal liability protection. So anything that you personally own and the business is being sued, those come into play. All right, so we have a scenario here. If anyone would like to answer, please feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat. So for this, we have a scenario. Widget company is a larger business. It has many founders and investors, so they all could profit further from the business. They became owners or shareholders. There are 225 owners of Widget company. And Widget Company's entity type is recognized internationally. Widget Company has a board of directors with strict rules about holding meetings and keeping records. Widget Company is actually taxed twice. The business pays at a corporate level and the shareholders pay on the income received. What type of business entity is Widget Company? SCorp, absolutely. All right. All right, and then we'll have another scenario coming up, and this will be the last one. Uh, so, scenario two. Brittany Boyer has opened a bakery. She did not file any paperwork with the Secretary of State for articles of incorporation, though. Brittany is the owner of her business, and she is personally liable for any debts or liabilities of the business. If you purchase a cake from Brittany, the receipts shows the name as Brittany's Bakes. Brittany did file a fictitious name registration with the state of Missouri, so Brittany Boyer can do business under the name Brittany's Bakes. Also, Brittany is only taxed once on the profits in her personal tax return. What type of business entity does Brittany have?
Disclaimer, Brittany does not own any business, but I could bake some good cakes. So
Sole proprietorship, absolutely. Thank you for cooperating. All right, so let's talk about registering your business. In the state of Missouri, there is no state business license required. Now, when I say that, pay close attention. There is no state business license required. We'll get into other requirements a little bit later, but as for the state of Missouri, there is no state business license required. However, you do need to register your business entity with the state of Missouri. Brittany is sharing the links that I've got here. So, and we're actually going to do a walkthrough of this too. I've created a faux account on there. So we're going to do a walkthrough of how you will register your business entity with the Secretary of State. So hang on till the end, we will be doing that. So you'll want to visit the Missouri Secretary of State website. And again, Brittany's got that in the chat for you, that link. You'll want to choose Start a Business, and this will direct you to the page with all the necessary information and forms needed. You can also find guides and helpful resources with the user guide link. So let's talk real quick about your tax IDs. Why do I need a tax ID? This comes into play for various reasons, such as opening a business banking account, which you will need. If you are going into business, you need to separate your personal finances and your business finances. That is like the golden rule whenever it comes to opening a business. Get a separate bank account, get a separate card, get a separate everything, because whenever you combine the two, even if you're an LLC, if you are paying your electric bill, your personal home electric bill out of your business account, that's called piercing the corporate veil. That means if there's evidence of that and something happens and your LLC is sued, then that means your personal assets are also on the chopping block, truly, because there is no separation of business and personal there. So make sure that you always keep everything separate. Also, you'll need it whenever you're obtaining a business loan or a line of credit, and then whenever you process and file your payroll taxes. For federal, an employee identification number, or EIN, aka Federal Employer Identification Number, FEIN, is used to identify a business entity, much like an individual social security number is used to identify them. You can apply on the IRS website at irs.gov/EIN, and this is a free service for you. As for the state of Missouri, a Missouri tax ID, aka a sales tax license, must be obtained by a business if it sells goods or provides a taxable service. You can register on the Missouri Department of Revenue website, and Brittany's sharing that as well. And that's dor.mo.gov/register-business. Unemployment insurance taxes. If your small business has an employee working in Missouri, you may be liable for Missouri state unemployment insurance tax contributions. To find out if you are liable, you can visit the Missouri Department of Revenue website, and Brittany's sharing that link for you, or you can contact a CPA. So let's talk about these local requirements. Earlier, whenever I said the state of Missouri itself does not require a business license, this is where a business license comes into play. Remember, due diligence is key. Telling an entity, telling a state, a county, a city, anything like that, I didn't know, isn't going to be acceptable. So due diligence is key. Do your research, call City Hall, call your county, call any entity that may have anything to do with approving your business, permitting your business, licensing your business, call them. Even if you're unsure, call to make sure. You need to check with your local city and county agencies regarding licensing and permits, sales taxes, business property tax, zoning regulations, and other local requirements to lawfully operate a business within their jurisdictions. A big one here is zoning regulations. So in Jefferson County, I have knowledge of Jefferson County because I've lived here my whole life. I can't speak for other counties so much, but in Jefferson County, I live in a rural area. I technically live on a farm. So if I wanted to start a mechanics shop out of my garage, I would have to apply with the Jefferson County government to zone my property as commercial. If I were trying to run a business like that out of my home residential garage, I would get hit with a fine. So you've always got to check with zoning regulations to make sure that your business fits in where you're trying to make that happen. All right, so before we get into the walkthrough, do you guys have any questions? Okay, looks pretty quiet. So give me just a moment here. I am going to stop sharing. Oh, before actually I get off the slide, we'll go ahead and here is the link for our YouTube channel. Brittany's putting that in the chat for you guys. So you can get to our YouTube page by either using this link, or you can go to youtube.com and type in our username, or our channel name, which is at JFCAC _SBRC. Again, there's multiple webinars and trainings in there, so please feel free to take a look. Subscribe to the page if you want. That way, if you miss a training that we have live like this, you'll get a notification that we've put that recording up there. All right, so with that, let me stop sharing this. And then we'll share my screen. All right, so here is the Missouri Secretary of State site. This is SOS for Secretary of State.mo.gov/business. When you get here, you've got pretty much everything at your fingertips. Down here are going to be quick links to tell you how to give you information. These are resources that tell you about the different companies, the fees. If you want to search for a business, like I said, whenever you have a business idea, you get that business name, go search for that business name, make sure it's not already in use. So we are going to go for the account. So as I said, I've created a faux account here, but we'll go ahead and go through creating an account just so we can look at that. So you do have to create an account if you want to register a business. You can't, sometimes whenever you're online shopping, you can check out as guest without creating a account. With the Secretary of State site, you do have to create an account. And it is very easy. So you'll go to create an account and you'll fill in the fields. You'll put in your user ID. So for this one, I chose Does Business 23. You can use, something, anything you want. A user ID is unique to you. So however you would like to do that. Choose your passwords, confirm it, choose your security questions, fill in your answer, and then you'll go ahead and put in your information. You'll want to choose individual because unless you are an organization that's creating this account, you are likely going in to be filing this for your own company. So you are an individual. So you're not an organization yet, and you're not doing this on behalf of anyone. So you'll fill in your information just like you would in any other thing that you sign up for. You'll put in your address. You can use your address here, especially if you don't have your obviously business up and running, you don't have a brick and mortar store, anything like that. So you'll want to go ahead and use your best mailing address. You'll put in your contact information. I have never been contacted by the Secretary of State. Usually they'll send a letter if something is wrong and they need more information, but you can put in your information there, your email address that you want to use. Again, if you've already created a business email address, you can go on Gmail and create any kind of email account. So if you are dead set on this and you don't want to use your personal account, email account, and you want to use your business account, email address, please feel free and go ahead and do that there. Then you'll just read through the terms and conditions, check the box, and then create account. Since I've already done that, I am going to hit cancel to return to the screen. Yep. So once you've registered, you'll come back here, put in your information, and then we'll go ahead and we will log in. Once you log in, this is kind of your hub. This is where you can find information about, your filings, your fictitious names, nonprofit filings, which FYI, we do not assist nonprofits. We are not able to here at the SBRC. And then here's where you can go move forward with your filings for your company. So for sake of ease, we are going to go ahead and use the create an LLC. So for this, if we are helping you, it's likely that you are going to be a domestic company because you are located here in Missouri. So you'll want to go ahead and choose domestic. All right, so name reservation number or name. So this name reservation is for if you have this business idea, but you are not ready to file your articles of incorporation, you're not ready to file with the Missouri Secretary of State, but you think it's a really good name, so you want to keep that name. There is a separate portion that you can actually do a name reservation for your company. You go in there, you reserve the name, and then it gives you pretty much a confirmation number, well, a reservation number, and that's when you'll put that number in there. However, if you haven't done that, no problem at all. Here's where you can put in your business name. So, and the good thing about this is you don't have to do a business search at this point because this is going to do it for you. So I am going to use an example. So XYZ company. That's what I want to name my business, XYZ LLC. So we're going to see where this takes us. Oh, XYZ LLC, the name you entered is not available. Below is a list of the potential name conflicts. It says that, but I haven't quite found that yet. And I may be looking in the wrong place, but so it doesn't really give the recommendations. So what you can do then is, okay, so take a look at my company, XYZ, and I'm in the works to look at this building, and the address of the building is 1300 Main. So, okay, let's try this. XYZ 1300 LLC. All right, so it accepted that name. So the name of my company is now XYZ 1300 LLC. We are, again, a limited liability company, domestic. We are located in the state of Missouri. Specify the events, if any, on which the limited liability company is to dissolve or the number of years the limited liability company is to continue. Most of the time, you are going to choose perpetual unless you are opening a business for a set amount of time in which you would choose a date to which it would be resolved. But for the most part, it's going to be perpetual. That means it's continuous. It's you don't have any intentions of dissolving the company. Then you're going to choose who is managing the company. So most of the time, again, most of the people that we have helped, our clients, are managing their own company. They're not leaving it up to the people that they employ. And then for the purpose. So whenever it comes to the purpose of things, what you can do is actually choose. Whoa. Hold on a second here. Just a second. Okay. Sorry, I meant to bring that sticky note up before, but I've got other sticky notes in there. And okay. Come. There we go. So the most common that we see, even when you Google this, this is typically what you can put in there. The transaction of any lawful business for which a limited liability company may be organized under the Missouri Limited Liability Company Act. And that is referring to Chapter 347, Revised Missouri Statute. So that is what a lot gets put in there. If you want to put a purpose in there, if you are, selling widgets, so, the purpose is the manufacturing and sale of widgets. That is kind of specific. So if anything happens and you change up and you're not selling widgets anymore, you might want to amend your articles of incorporation. This is just kind of like a blanket statement. So that covers you to be able to operate as an LLC is allowed to operate. So again, if you are not ready to start this business as of today, you can actually put in a future effective date. You can choose what date you would like, if it's 2 weeks from now or anything like that. So if you're not wanting to get this effective as of today, you'll want to go ahead and choose that date. A series LLC. So as far as a series LLC goes, we at the SBRC really don't assist series LLCs because they can get a little messy. What a series LLC pretty much is the main LLC company is up here at the top, kind of like an umbrella. And then underneath that, their divisions are allowed to have their own assets and things like that. So it does get a little messy. We haven't, like I said, come into contact with anyone requesting that. And that's not something we can really help because that brings a lot of legality and accounting into it. So once you've got everything filled out here, then we're going to go ahead and talk about the registered agent. This is the person who is taking care of everything, who's going to be doing the paperwork for this and everything. So again, this is 9 out of 10 times going to be you, unless your CPA is doing this for you, or if you use something like Rocket Lawyer or a legal entity that you see on like Google to file this for you. But if you're doing this yourself, you'll put in your own information. So the phone name for this, Jane L. Doe. And since you created an account, that information is going to be in there. So you'll just want to select that information. And the organizer. So the organizer is probably going to be you as well. So again, organizer is an individual, unless it, of course, It's an organization that's doing it for you. But again, so you'll just put in your information. And then the address. Whoop. Oh, oh, sorry about that. All right, so once you put in that information, then we can move ahead forward. All right, so the address. So this is what you can come to. Again, if you have a brick and mortar store, you can go ahead and put that brick and mortar address in there. If not, you can put your home address. Again, this can be amended later on. All right, so here is where we're reviewing everything, making sure that everything is right. We've got everything in here properly. So for this, the filer name is Jane Doe. That's who owns the company. The address of Jane Doe is the 10880 Business 21, and that contact information is up to date. XYZ 1300 LLC. That is the correct name that I want to go with. And then, yep, we are a limited liability company. We are domestic, as we are here in Missouri. This is going to continue on until I dissolve it. I am managing the company. I am the manager, so I am managing it. We've got our purpose in there. We've got all of our registered agent in our organization, which is still us. So everything's good to go. And apparently I don't like checking boxes today. My apologies. All right, so here, just like with anything else, you've got to sign it. So we want to go ahead and add that signer, and that signer is going to be us. We are the organizer. All right, and we're checking this box. We've got our information in there, and we are ready to check out. We're ready to go to our shopping cart. So what we're looking at here is, oh, that's the old one. There we go. So what we're looking at here is our articles of incorporation, and that fee is $50. And then there will be a convenience fee that is charged. Now, what I do want to point out is while the SBRC does pay for services, we do not pay for you to register your business with the Secretary of State of Missouri. You are responsible for paying that fee to register your business. So once you get through that, make sure everything is right. You're getting your articles of organization. So then you'll go to the payment information, and this is where they'll tell you what the fee is once you choose what you're paying with. Most people are going to pay with a credit card, so that's going to add in a $1.25 fee. So in total, for registering your business with the Missouri Secretary of State and getting your articles of incorporation, it is going to cost you $51.25 for an LLC when using a credit card. So it is a fairly small investment to get started in your business. So once you're here, you would enter your payment information, go ahead and make sure everything's right here, agree to the terms and conditions, and then you would move on to the payment. I'm not going to press it because it is going to give me an error because I didn't fill anything in. So I know a lot of people really get intimidated with this, but the good thing is you can amend these. You can reach out to the Secretary of State for help. There are so many tools and resources available here on the Secretary of State site. So don't be intimidated, and let let your business get started here. Don't let it stop you. And this is something, again, we can walk you through. If you're a registered client of ours, we can walk you through this. We can walk you through creating your account. We can walk you through filing it. The only thing we cannot do, again, is pay for your articles of organization. So just keep that in mind whenever you're ready to start up your business. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. And okay, so that is pretty well everything. Does anybody have questions, comments, concerns, anything? Pretty quiet group today. Okay. All right. So, well, with that, we would like to say thank you so much for being here, registering, and being here with us today and attending. If you are interested more, please visit our YouTube page. You can visit our website, and if you're still not ready to sign up, because there are two boxes there on our JFCAC website. One says sign me up, the other says inquire further, I believe, or I'm interested. You can look at that inquire further. It'll just ask you some information so that we can get back in contact with you, and then we can give you a call and answer any questions you have before you register with us. The biggest thing that we always want to tell people is, like Brittany was saying, one, emails do go to junk, so check your junk after you register. Two, please answer the phone or give us a call back. In this day and age, there are so many scam calls out there. I get at least probably 2 a day. It's ridiculous. So we are going to leave a voicemail, and then sometimes we do go ahead and email to follow up with that. But give us a call back. Ghosting is a big thing these days, but hopefully if you're serious about starting your business, you'll either answer, give us a call back, stay in contact with us, and we can help you through this process. We are not a one and done deal. If you come to us and say, hey, I only need help creating my logo, okay, sure, no problem. We'll send you to our marketing spoke, and they can help you create your logo. But then at that point, if you're like, okay, I need a lease reviewed because I'm looking at this building. Okay, no problem. We'll send you to our attorney. If you need help with bookkeeping review, we can send you to our accountant. And then once you do all that, you're up and running. And 2 months from there, you need help again, come back and we'll set you up with more help. So we are always here for you, and we are ready to help you succeed. So yeah, that's all I've got.
Thank you, everybody, for joining.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great day.